what to do, what to do. Mike Bloomberg threatened to spend $1 billion to run for president. He burned through a couple of $100 million real lickety-split. And he took a considerable beating from the top Democratic candidates. I believe almost every one of them went after him and assassinated his character for trying to buy an election. Now, in a time when we're in one of the most contested presidential races in history with potentially the future of America on the line, Mike Bloomberg has publicly announced he's going to spend $100 million to buy the state of Florida and try to flip it from Trump. Just this week, he spent $16 million to pay fines and restitution for 32,000 criminals who needed to pay their fine to get their voting rights back. Mike Bloomberg just paid $16 million for 32,000 felons to get their voting rights back in the state of Florida. And if you harken back to the debates, let's not forget, as Mike Bloomberg here starts to try to buy a state, watch what all his Democratic contemporaries had to say about him just a few months ago.
Tonight we say to Michael Bloomberg and other billionaires, sorry, you ain't gonna buy this election.
That's why I'm so concerned about Michael Bloomberg jumping into this race, dropping $37 million in 1 week on ad buys. I don't believe that elections ought to be for sale. And I don't think as a Democratic Party that we should say that the only way you're going to get elected, the only way you're going to be our nominee, is either if you are a billionaire or if you're sucking up to billionaires.
Has it dawned on you that two of your biggest rivals, one's not a member of the Democratic Party yet, and the other was a Republican about 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah. No, it doesn't surprise me.
What does that say about the state of today's Democratic Party?
Well, I think what it says is money, billions of dollars, can take you a long, long way.
I don't think they say, oh, we need someone richer. I don't think that, Jake. I think you have to earn votes and not buy them.
So that was like almost every single one of the, Mike Bloomberg's challengers, the big Dems, right down to Amy Klobuchar, who were bashing Michael Bloomberg for trying to buy an election, and now they all sit by in silence as he literally breaks every campaign finance election law in our country and spends $100 million to try to flip Florida blue. And all of this is in furtherance of one thing, the pursuit of making America a socialist country. And it's so good to see the commander-in-chief out there reminding everybody of the one key thing.
Veterans here today bear witness to how socialism, radical mobs, and violent communists ruin a nation. Now the Democrat Party is unleashing socialism right within our own beautiful country. Today we proclaim that America will never be a socialist or communist country, and I'm going to add that word, or communist.
Pretty clear. America will never be a socialist or communist country. And let's keep that in mind, because if we all want to make sure that this country does not become a socialist or communist country, you need to get out and vote and not convince yourself, oh, Trump's got this one in the bag. On November 3rd, you got to be out there and you got to be voting, okay? On this Sunday morning, you got to be tuned into AM 970, The Answer, to hear the first ever edition of Vito Fossella, former Staten Island congressman, and myself doing a new radio show called Table Talk, where we give you a seat at the table, have the best conversation around right at the kitchen table every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Quick break, coming back at you with more Liquid Lunch right after this.